offer the best grooming products for you. Yes, all natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be your swagger, style, class, and luxury. We make our products tailor-made for you with high quality. Yeah, so get in style with the black, yeah. Grooming company, give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah. The black gentleman, yeah. Company, give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Yo. What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Nerds on Culture with Stormybman for this Monday, May 27th, 2024. This is number 87 in the series of Nerds. And this evening we are featuring a topic on Marvel's top animated cartoons. That's from its inception in the 60s on up to present day and time, where we will talk a little bit as nerds on this particular subject, the animation side of Marvel and how they've been successful with their characters throughout generations, and now seemingly are making a strong comeback with a particular series that has been bantied about quite a bit since its released a few weeks back. And we're here to talk about that and more, with hopefully a great deal of participation from our chat. But welcome everybody. We are here for another Nerds. Allow me to introduce my partner in crime. We got Drew Titan in the building this evening. What's going on, bro? What's happening?
I'm nerding out right now. Can I sing this song? Bro?
Go ahead, bro. I got my Avengers t-shirt on for the show tonight. If you can see it. That's an Avengers shirt, man. Look at that.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, got my Avengers shirt on tonight.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield. If he's led to a fight, then the duel is due. Then the red
and the white and the blue come through.
Captain America throws his mighty shield.
I had to join in on that, especially since Cap is my favorite Marvel character, man.
I love it, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, I have all of those. I have all of those cartoons, with the exception I don't have the Submariner series. I got to get the Submariner series. I'll probably pick it up at Comic-Con this summer in August, that they have it here. I'll pick it up then, because I've been like, okay, I got Thor, I got Hulk, I got Iron Man and Cap. I just don't have Submariner, so I got to get the Submariner series.
Oh man, it's awesome because man, that whole series was a gem. Because if you look at it, there was Avengers. They had the crossovers in there. They had the Avengers, and they had the Defenders in there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was some great stuff, man.
Yep.
This is some great stuff, man. And although this came out before I was born, I caught all the replays. I've seen every episode.
Yeah.
Every episode, man. This is just great, man.
And you know, the Iron Man, when, you know, Tony Stark
makes you feel he's the coolest exec with the heart of steel. As Iron Man, all jets are blazed. He fight, then smite with the repulsor race.
Amazing.
It's Iron Man.
Listen, did you realize in the Iron Man film, the first one, when he was in the casino gambling at the crap tables, they played that song. They didn't play the vocals. It was the music.
I missed that.
Dun, dun, dun. Go back and watch the movie.
Oh.
When he's in the casino and Terrence Howard comes in there to try to pull him off the crap tables, that's the music that they're playing.
Oh my gosh, I missed that.
They played it in the movie, bro.
That's the gem.
It sure is.
Oh man.
Yeah, they were playing it with them brass horns.
Oh man, I missed that.
Right before he walked outside and old girl was talking to him and interviewing him, that they were playing. That's the tune that they were playing.
Oh, I missed that. That's awesome.
Yeah, some things could just fly by you and you don't even realize
man.
it. Yeah, I realized it when I was watching the movie. I was like, oh man, they're playing the cartoon from the 60s theme song.
Oh man,
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
All types of gems I threw out the MCU films, but that was pretty cool, you know. But you had to be a real Iron Man dude to really pick up on it right away. But yeah, that, you know, yeah, I picked up on that. That's just like in what was it? Not Thor Ragnarok, but Thor what was it? Thor the Dark World?
Dark World, yeah.
When the film was ending and Thor was telling Odin that he was going to go back to Earth and everything and be his protector and all of that. And they showed Loki sitting on the throne.
Yeah.
And he changed from Odin to Loki because he was Odin in disguise.
Right.
Sitting on that throne. That's a famous picture of Loki from the comics.
In the comics,
so
he was,
sitting on the throne of Asgard because that he always wanted to be king. See, they slipped that in there too. A lot of people didn't notice that.
Oh man, the gems.
Yeah, so welcome, chat. What's good with everybody out there, man? You guys are ready to tune in and you know, let's talk about some Marvel animation, man. Let's talk about it. What else about this particular series here, Drew, where we got the picture up on the screen?
Extremely comic book accurate because it was actually slides from the comic book.
It was slides from the comic, and some of them were slightly animated. Yes. Some weren't even animated. They would just move the stills around and create action and sound effects around them. And you know what? That was kind of innovative at the time because we know that you could do the motion animation, but that was kind of to draw the comic lovers to the material because if you read the comics, you'd be like, oh, I remember that. That's in my comic book. You know what I'm saying? And as a kid, that could really turn you on to the material, you know. So, you know, looking back on it as an adult, you could think like it was kind of cheesy or whatever. But as a kid, they basically were doing that. You'll catch those, like that image of the Hulk moving right there.
Yes.
Like he's about to leap into action. They showed that in that cartoon a lot. That particular image of a Hulk doing his thing, you know.
It made me appreciate the writing also. Because I was locked in. I was locked into the story. They got actors to do the voices. And didn't it make you, when you read the comics, you heard that the narrator's voice? When you read the comics, I would hear that voice. I mean, I was locked in on storylines there, man, and it was awesome. It was. I appreciated the writing, and this isn't exactly. Is this Jack Kirby's art?
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay,
that's Jack Kirby.
That's Jack King Kirby, and that's when. This is the guy that made me pick up the pencil. Actually, this series right here was made me start drawing. This was it. And this is how Marvel got me before DC got me, to be honest.
And you know what was interesting about his artwork, Jack Kirby? Dude, he really drew women very well, didn't he?
He sure did.
The men, he could give them a certain chiseled look and stuff because all of them had their own. Under Jack Kirby's artwork, all of them would have their own specific features and appearances, but his women were outstanding. They all looked voluptuous and exotic and you know, And I think he took prototypes of like Marilyn Monroe or James Mansfield and those kind of actresses and stuff from that era and time.
Right.
And he kind of did his take on them and then added something or took something away a little bit to make the women specifically, because like his Sue Storm looked really, she looked good, you know, she looked attractive.
Yeah.
His women in the New Gods, they looked outstanding. They looked like female gods, right? Goddesses. Yeah.
It was tastefully done. It wasn't like raunchy.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Look what Reef the Watcher wrote. And salute to the chat. Jack Kirby was self-taught. I didn't know that.
I could believe that. I could believe that. Let me see. I'm trying to find Reef's comp. Yeah. Pull it up on the screen. Yeah. He was self-taught. It wouldn't surprise me. You know, a lot of those original artists, they were self-taught men, and which is why you could see a progression in how, especially if they worked on a stint of comics for a long time, you could see the progression in their artwork. Like, you know, Siegel and Schuster, who drew Superman, you know, the way Superman started out as opposed to when they got on for a long period of time. One of the most famous comic artists that drew Superman was Kurt Swan. Kurt Swan's Superman looked a lot like George Reeves, who played Superman on a television show.
Yeah.
But he still drew him in the comic accurate costume, and you know, he was very good, you know. But again,
did we do an artist show yet?
Huh?
Did we do an artist show?
Did we do one? No, we didn't.
We got to do that. We got to do that. That's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. But and I'll write that down. Let me write it down right now.
That's going to be an awesome show.
I got my little book here.
Because I got a bunch of artists that, you know, shout out to Jack Kirby, who made me pick up the pencil. But as I've gotten older, there's a lot of artists that caught my eye, man. There's a lot of great artists. So I didn't know he's self-taught. From self-taught to king, because that's what we call him, Jack the King Kirby.
Yep.
My boy got he has a few shirts with Jack Kirby art on it.
Mm-hmm.
He has a Silver Surfer shirt. It's Jack Kirby. He has a Hulk shirt, and I think he has a Captain America. He has to. But this is some cool stuff right here.
Yeah. There was something I was going to say about the Incredible Hulk too. You remember in the series from the 60s, they had Hulk, and General Ross had the army after him all the time. Yeah. And he was like smashing tanks and stuff. That was the one good thing about the Ang Lee's Hulk movie, because they kind of brought back memories of that when Hulk was battling the army out in the desert. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because that was like channeling what he did in the 60s in the comics when he was taking on the tanks and stuff. In fact, one of my favorite scenes from the Ang Lee Hulk movie is when he's in that battle in the desert fighting the tanks, and that one tank that he ripped the top off of it and everything, and then he took the barrel of the tanks battering the fire, what do you call it? It shoots the cannon. It shoots. Right. He had taken that and ripped it off, and he was walking around toward the tank, and he was tapping it in his hand like that. Yeah. And he had that little look on his face, like, Yep. He looked like a real person when they animated him, and he was going. And when they blasted him with one of the tank shells, and he hit the ground, and he was holding his chest like this, he was like, I was like, man, you know, for the time, that animation on that Hulk was pretty good. I just think they made him the wrong color. It was like too green, you know. Yeah,
I called him Shrek 2 before the Shrek movie came out.
Yeah, because he, you know, but man, in certain instances of that film, the animation on them was pretty good. I give it that.
We were entering that next level of CGI.
Yes.
So I appreciated it. I mean, the movie, you know, The Incredible Hulk, the follow-up with Ed Norton, that took it to a next level. But I appreciated the Ang Lee one for what it was. It was more like a juiced up version of the Hulk TV with Bill Bixby, which how he became the Hulk.
And really, excuse me, if Ang Lee had really done some homework and studied up on Hulk, because he really didn't know much about the character when they assigned him to make the film. One of the things the guys got to do is, even if you don't know the character, you need to do your homework. You need to do your homework and learn about them. So that's how you're able to make the best type of films. Now, another thing that he introduced in that film, and not trying to get into the movies because we're going to talk about the comic animations, but the way that he had the editor draw in the fact that when they did scene changes and cuts, that it looked like comic book frames. Remember when they did that? That was very creative. I like that a lot.
I did really. I like that. There was the Ang Lee movie wasn't bad. For the time. It's just that everything we've done after that, they've done that. When the MCU took it over, it overshadowed that. But I'm not gonna rip the movie too bad. It was good for its time, so you know you can appreciate it. But when the MCU took all that stuff over, it was like next level stuff. But it was okay.
Right.
It was okay. But this cartoon is what did it for me.
Man, this was an awesome cartoon. Like I said, I got all of them except for Submariner, and it was so interesting when you showed me that was one of the images that you were going to put up for tonight's show. I wish that we could play footage. That would really top it off, wouldn't it? It's like, but YouTube really sucks for people like us. You know, they'll come directly after us, even though we're small time and things like that. But it's like, it's our heart, man, into this subject that they should allow this, because it's nothing but promotion for those companies and everything. Because people will go out and find those comics and
all these episodes are on YouTube right now. I was watching them.
Yeah,
they're on YouTube.
They're out there. But I got them on DVD. Like I said, I just got to pick up the Submariner, and I'm going to do that this summer. I'm making that my venture out to Comic-Con just to get that, because there's a couple of guys who show up at Comic-Con every year, and they sell all that stuff, the old TV shows, the old animations and cartoons and stuff, and they make a killing every summer, man, when they do that.
The first episode of Thor that I watched, he fought the Absorbing Man. And it was funny because the sound effects that they put on when he slapped the hell out of Thor was ridiculous. Thor hit him with the hammer in the hand, and then he slapped him. It was like boom. It was crazy. But the Absorbing Man was, first of all, he's a pain in the ass to fight. But
and do you know that's who Nick Nolte was supposed to be in Ang Lee's Hulk when he turned at the end of the film?
He's supposed to be the Stormybman, but in the comic book, he's a convict. But before he got his powers, his name was Crusher Creel, who was a boxer.
Right.
And guess who he fought? He fought what was this guy? Mighty Murdoch or something? Who was
Matt Murdock's dad.
Matt Murdock's dad, Daredevil's father. And if you watch the Daredevil series, he's going through a locker room and you see a poster in the back, Mighty Murdoch versus Crusher Creel. It was the poster in the back.
I saw that. I caught that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, look at that. That's just, you know, you got to be a nerd to pick stuff up like that.
And Marvel is great for doing those things like that, because they drop those little, you know, things in there. They're like what they call them, MacGuffins. They drop them in there like that to for us, you know. It's like for us nerds, man.
Yeah, that's like a great tidbit. Yeah.
There was another one. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they had the Absorbing Man. You remember the black guy? He was,
Yeah.
He was basically playing the Absorbing Man, that bald head black guy.
Yeah.
They had doing certain things in there, and he could turn the concrete into something. You know, it's like,
yeah.
That's what that was supposed to be, the Absorbing Man.
Man, that's awesome.
I'm hearing that the Fantastic Four film, when they drop it, the Mole Man is supposed to be one of the villains.
Oh, that's what they're doing?
Yeah, because Galactus is going to be a part of it, which is why that Silver Surfer, the female Silver Surfer, is supposed to be in the story. But the Mole Man is going to be a part of, you know, who they have to go after in that film as well. So that's going to be interesting because, you know, he was in their first issue.
Yes.
Mole Man, you know. So that's great. And speaking of Fantastic Four, that's a great segue into something here, because how about this image I got here?
Wow. That is great.
Yeah, that right there is basically showing the original Marvel animations of characters who, you know, in the 60s. And as you see in the center there, they got all of the guys that were just in that image that you have, the Hulk, Submariner, Cap, Thor, and Iron Man from the TV show. They're advertising the Marvel comic superheroes are on TV. That's a comic that's featuring those that appeared in the TV shows, and it's like a advertising, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For what was coming. And then of course you got Spider-Man from the 60s. That was the Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. That was that TV series. And then you got Johnny Storm there from the original Fantastic Four cartoon back from the 60s.
Yeah, this is great. This is my childhood. Second Coming. I had to catch all the reruns.
Yeah.
But my gosh, man.
Great stuff though, right?
Oh, this is awesome.
Man.
This is awesome, man. This is awesome.
I'm gonna put this other image you got up here. Yeah.
Now
that out. Whoa.
Yeah, this is we're gonna go through different genres of the Hulk. The Hulk had a few cartoons, and he even had one in the early 2000s. But I wanted to stop here at '96.
What's that song from the '66 Hulk? Bruce Banner, melted by gamma rays, turns into the Hulk.
Any a glamour ray. Yep. Ever loving Hulk. Yep.
Yeah, man.
This was that again. It was more true to the comic, and I remember they used to zoom in on his face, and the eyes would move.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was great, man. They had some really cool episodes. Like I said, the crossovers were insane.
Mm-hmm.
Crossovers were insane. I think there was a Fantastic Four crossover in one episode of the Hulk. I don't remember, but the crossovers were insane, man. The 1966 one. Now, the 1982 Hulk series that used to come along with Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and this one was again, General Ross he considered the Hulk as property of the United States. And he's chasing him around, and he's in love with Betty. Pretty much the same thing from the '66 one. But you know what I always laughed about? You know, these cartoons were so. I mean, even when you're a kid, you wonder these things. First of all, Bruce Banner wore the same damn thing every episode.
Yeah.
He turned into the Hulk and bust out his damn clothing. And then next Saturday, he has the same outfit. It's like, bro, what's happening here? What's going on?
I think at the end of the day, what they realized was the Hulk was classic with his purple pants because of the green and the purple, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's what that was, because, you know. But what I liked about the live action Hulk was they kind of found a way to do it similar, but he would have like some jeans on or something. And if you remember in the Avengers movie, when they first saw Banner, he was dressed in some purple. Remember, he had on burgundy pants and a burgundy shirt. I was like, look at this guy. When I first saw him on screen, Mark Ruffalo, I was like, oh, he getting ready to turn into
know what they're doing. Yeah,
because he got the damn wardrobe on. He's gonna eventually turn into the Hulk. So, you know, so that's kind of cool. You know, they do that stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what I didn't like? By the time they did Avengers Age of Ultron, and this is really tripped out, man. And forgive me for keep venturing over into the films, but these are these little MacGuffins that I talk about that they put in the films. Did you know that in the Avengers Age of Ultron, in the lab where Stark and Banner were working on stuff, there was off to the side where Stark created stretchy pants, special stretchy pants for Banner. Right. And they were on this table and they were purple. It's like Stark did that for Ruffalo's character, Bruce Banner, because he knew that he would go through wardrobe like crazy. So he created special stretchy pants for him for when he became the Hulk. But they didn't put it in the movie. But it was there because I bought the book. You know, you can get them on Amazon. Some of them may be signed out now, sold out. It's like the art of the movie. And I got the art of Avengers Age of Ultron. And there's a section where they show everything that was in the lab for Stark and Banner in Avengers Tower. And right there, there's a special area where he created special stretchy pants for Banner. And he actually has these metal things pulling them. Right. On the table, on the slant. And they're pulling this like Banner stretchy pants or whatever it's called. It's a label by them and everything. But they didn't include it in the film, but it's there. It was filmed, but they just edited it out or didn't add it into the film. But I thought that was pretty cool because what it shows is that somebody had the wherewithal to think about this guy's going to go through wardrobe all the time, you know, and Stark created all this stuff. That's just like what they also didn't put in the film about Avengers Tower, that each and every one of them had their own room in Avengers Tower. Thor had a room. Cap had a room, Hawkeye, Black Widow, everybody had their own room. And you see Stark and Cap's rooms in the first Avengers film. When they say it's time to suit up and Cap goes into that room and he opens the door and it's his costume and his shield and everything in there, that was Cap's room. But we just didn't see all the other Avengers rooms. But it would have been nice had they done that. But you saw Tony Stark's Iron Man room when he went in there and you saw him use his remote to get his suit started up by Jarvis. It's like it's a lot of things that they did, but you know, because the film is only a couple of hours and you can only include so much stuff, that you know the stuff was there. Yeah. But a geek like myself, I be looking for that kind of stuff, and I just be like, "Oh man, I can't believe they did this." You know,
so little things, man. Little things.
But more on this Hulk that you're talking about, these series.
The '82 Hulk used to come on after Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. It was the Marvel. I think they used to call it the Power Hour. Came on Saturdays. I used to eat my cornflakes in the morning or Cheerios and watch that. Yeah. And then play some Nintendo after. The 96 Hulk, as I was telling you before, you know what I never knew about this 1996 cartoon. I just learned today that when they did this, they brought back Lou Ferrigno to be the voice of the Hulk on that series. I didn't know that was him.
Okay.
That's amazing. That is amazing. It was a pretty good
Salute
series.
to our brother Supreme Beast out there in the chat. We see you out there, bro.
Salute, brother. Yeah, I had no idea that they did that for him, and that was pretty good. I didn't see every episode of this. Um, yeah, so he showed up and he did this. There was a lot of crossovers in this. It had 2 seasons. They said the first season was going kind of dark. It was pretty serious. So to lighten it up, I believe in season 2 they incorporated his cousin, the She-Hulk, and they lightened it up a little bit. And of course, so this woke thing is really, it's really been deep rooted. They added a feminine twist, and being a Hulk is a burden that he has that he didn't really like. It was like the Jekyll and Hyde, and Mr. Hyde takes over, and he has to fight to become Bruce Banner again. And here comes his damn cousin who's taking control of it, and not even half the time that it took him to even, he's struggling with this, and she just turns back and forth like nothing. And I never liked that, but whatever, man. Yeah, you're right, Reef. At the second season, at the end, he turned into Joe Fixit, and that was the Gray Hulk. And it was a alter personality. I think they ended the season with it. Sidebar: when the Hulk first came out, he was gray. I forgot how and why they made him green, but when the original,
well, I'll tell you, I know the story on that.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Stan Lee said that it was hard matching the gray color from through the printing presses for the comics. It was hard for them to match the color consistently because sometimes the grays were off, and sometimes they were like, washed out. Sometimes they were too dark and different things. So when they back then during the printing process, so they just decided to make him green because it was a color that they could reproduce easier, and they found a certain grade of green that they wanted to use for him, and that's what they did. If you notice in the films, they were having trouble matching the color to make it more appropriate to, like, okay, you could look at that and identify as the Hulk, but that first Ang Lee film, it was too green. It was almost as green as the backdrop of that border of what you got up on those images there, and that was just too much, like you said, Shrek-like. But the Hulk in the Incredible Hulk, the color was great on him in that film. And of course, in the ensuing MCU films where Hulk appears, the color looked pretty good, So that green is what works best for him. They were thinking about turning him into Gray Hulk in Age of Ultron once Scarlet Witch got a hold of him and turned him, because we never got to see what she did to him to make him Hulk out and start attacking the city. Josh Whedon edited it out, so they haven't even released the story as of what she did to him, because remember when she told her brother, I want the green one, and next thing you know, when we saw Hulk, he was attacking the city. We never got to see what she did to him to make him Hulk out. And they were changing him into a like a gray color for that scene, but they didn't do it.
Didn't she do something to Banner's head or something, like put that red stuff on his head when he was walking out?
Right, but we don't know what she did. Remember when she did it to other people, like when she did it to Cap, she made him remember something from World War II.
Oh, okay, I know what you mean.
When she did it to Thor, she made him see himself. When Thor saw himself, he saw himself in Valhalla.
Valhalla, yeah.
And then she did it to somebody else, but we never got to see what she did to Hulk, what she did to Banner to make him Hulk out.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, so
Reef the Watcher says they're about to have the Red Hulk and Captain America 4. Yeah, and they're gonna have the leader in there also.
Get him back.
Dr. Samuels, they brought him back, and we're gonna see what happened to him when that blood spilled on his cut on his head in the Incredible Hulk film, We're gonna finally see what it did to him and turned him into the leader. And Betty is back in Captain America 4.
Love it.
Yeah, Liv Tyler, man. She was great as Betty, man. I missed her being in there because she was an important character.
Yep. They let me move this so I can get to the other one. Yeah, you have anything else to add on that one?
I got one more to put up, or a couple more, but I wanted to put this one up here. It's kind of like a homage to what was happening. These guys.
I like
it's going to be very interesting what their costume selection will be for the live action Fantastic Four, because they went through a series of, images of how they looked. And I see you got your image geared up too.
Yeah.
But we can talk about them.
Yeah. Yeah. The one that you have up there, this is from the 1990s series.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. There was another series. There was 2 series, I think, in the 90s. It was this one, which was good. The first season I didn't like too much. The second season, which was this one, was really good. Then they had another one with it was the animation team that did the Aeon Flux anime that used to be on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a Julius Caesar anime. And they did a Fantastic Four cartoon, which was pretty good. But this one was season 2, which was pretty good. This was pretty good. This was in the 90s. I forget, 90, probably, I want to say 95, 96, probably. But my favorite one. The one from Hanna-Barbera, World of Super Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We pull it up.
That one right there. This was my favorite one. This was my favorite one. And
Hanna-Barbera was killing it for a long time, weren't they?
Oh man. We could do a show about that whole thing. I didn't know how many episodes they had of the Fantastic Four. They had a
lot, man. They had a lot. You know what's funny? It's like some of the stuff that we never got to see. Like, I never saw all of the Fantastic Four from those old series like that. It was like they held some back or something, or they just didn't release everything.
You know what? I have all the episodes. Well, I'm missing 2 episodes on VHS. That's it. Because me and my brother recorded every episode. We were missing 2. The episode with Blastar, and like the second episode with because Dr. Doom was on 2 episodes. We're missing one when Dr. Doom took over a whole planet. Those are the only 2 episodes. Oh, 3. The episode with Claw. We're missing 3 episodes. That's it. I've seen every one. I know it front and back. Even the one where they had it was supposed to be Submariner, but it wasn't Atlantis. It was Pacifica. It was clearly Submariner. A tumor was in it. It was crazy. But this series, it was pretty true to the comic. They didn't do any. It wasn't accurate stories from the comic, but it was stories with characters from the comic book, which was great, man. Which was great. Like I said, Submariner was in it. Dr. Doom, Claw. For those of you that don't know, Claw was in Age of Ultron. A guy that got his hand cut off and had that laser put on his arm. That's Claw. He looks different in the comic book though, but that was Claw. Molecule Man. Let's see, Blastar, Galactus, Silver Surfer, The Watcher, all of them. And this series was everything to me. And the introduction music was very catchy. It was jazz.
Yeah.
It was jazz. Yeah, man. And I love the way they portrayed Ben Grimm in this. It was like incredible.
Some of the old classic cartoons would have like you said, the jazz intro and stuff. Some of those were very groundbreaking at the time. And when you look back on it, it kind of puts you in a certain frame of mind, because it's like the comics, how can I say this? The comic characters were geared for children audiences and everything, but the themes and the stories were adult-like, weren't they?
Yes.
It was like serious content, but
there was no clowning in this show.
Yeah,
there was no clowning.
It wasn't like some garbage, like Saturday morning kids tunes. No, it was like the themes and everything were really strong and solid. They really were. Yeah, salute to the Jab Jamboree. I see you out there, Ak. How you doing, bro? That's our other brother who be touching on the comics all the time.
That's right.
You gotta salute him. Yeah.
If y'all haven't seen this, I recommend it's on YouTube. Go watch a few episodes. There's no clowning, and everybody played their role. The only thing that I didn't like. Now let me take a minute to stick up for the ladies. I remember the episode with Dr. Doom. It was his origin, and Dr. Doom had a gun to Sue's head. I mean, things that you can't do now, right? And he backed off, and then Reed Richards just backs off and starts smiling. And you hear Dr. Doom says, "Why are you smiling?" And he says, "Sue, your force field." And she goes, "Oh," like she didn't know to do that. Like she was like stupid outside of that. I'm like, she's probably the most dangerous person on the team, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, he had to tell her to do that. She can't be that stupid. You know what I'm saying? Oh, one of my favorite episodes when they fought the Super Skrull. That was crazy. Because when he first came down, he beat their ass. He beat their ass. But, Reed outsmarted them at the end. But my goodness, man. This show, man, I could do a marathon of this. This is one of my favorite ones right here. I'm only missing 3 episodes. Just 3. But this damn, I wonder how many episodes were this? They had to have been about 30. Yeah. It was a lot. There was a lot of episodes. And it wasn't like season 1, season 2, I don't believe. It was one long, my goodness. And this was well done, well written. It was serious. No clown stuff. Great stuff, man. Great stuff.
Yeah. Another one that I had that I wanted to put up here was this one. You guys recognize this one instantly, but this one here.
Oh yeah, the crossovers.
You got Daredevil in there.
Daredevil, very underrated character, which is why I appreciate the Netflix series. Out of all the Netflix series for Marvel, I love the Daredevil one the most.
Man, Daredevil was so freaking badass on Netflix, bro. That was like, I used to tune in to watch that like I like to watch The Sopranos. Sopranos was a TV show that I didn't watch initially, even though it would come on after World Championship Boxing or whatever on HBO. I didn't catch on to The Sopranos right away. I think it was almost halfway through the season I would start catching the rerun episodes, and I say, oh, this is kind of interesting. But I wasn't one of the ones initially that watched it from the beginning. But once I started watching it, I really liked it. Well, Daredevil was another series that once I started watching that, I couldn't get enough of it. Daredevil was badass. What Marvel did on that Netflix series, man, it was so awesome. And the character was really fleshed out. You liked the people who were playing the roles. Another thing that I really liked, Drew and chat, about what they did with the Netflix Daredevil, every show he had a scene where they did a long take. Remember when it was an action scene that was a long take? It became like a trademark of the show. Remember when he went to save that little boy?
Yes.
In the first one, and he had to go into the apartment building. Yeah. And he was taking on the baddies in there, and he was going down that corridor. Dude, that was so bad. It reminded me of Bach with
It was done in one shot, wasn't it?
Going up those stairs to fight those guys and everything. It was a single shot. Well, Daredevil did the same thing, going through that corridor in those apartments on that floor, fighting all those guys. That was so cool, man. That was a great idea, especially for that character. You know,
whoever choreographed that, I applaud them, man. Because that series, I was completely satisfied. Because you know why? They let you know he's human. The first season, he was getting cut up and stabbed. I'm like, God damn, is he gonna make it? And then when he fought Kingpin, he finally cornered that dude. He was like, yo, I saw him get cut, but it didn't go through his suit. What did you give him? Then he figured out he has a suit. This guy's a tailor. He can make a suit that's knife and bulletproof.
Right.
And then he made him the suit, and that's when everything made sense.
Right.
But they made it as realistic as possible. And I appreciated that, man. That was so dope. So
one
dope.
thing you could give the MCU that they did with their characters early on, they kind of lost their way. But what you just said, certain things made sense when they took a practicality to it and made it, you know, something of like, oh, that's why he's able to do this, or that's why you can't hurt him because he's got this special tailored suit, you know, things like that. And they don't just go out there and make a guy seem superhuman when he's not superhuman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they always had a way of making it make sense, so to speak, even though it's not real. That's like when in the Luke Cage series, you know, when they showed him in prison, and then when he got out of that situation and he had that gold,
oh man,
he had that gold shirt on and that silver thing on his head.
He said, "You look like a damn fool." I said, "Yo." I told my brother, I said, "Are you seeing this?" He said, "Man, if people don't know," they paid homage to how Luke Cage looked in the original comic. I said they had to do that, didn't they?
That shit was funny as hell. Dude.
Looking like the missing member from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh man!
He looked at his reflected image in that window. He said, "You look like a damn fool." That shit was funny as hell.
Oh man!
But it was great. It was a great moment, man. It's like it made you look back and just laugh about that and laugh about it, bro. Oh my goodness! But you know what else they did? They took something about him and they made it into something good. Trayvon Martin was, you know, deleted, and he was victimized because they said that what he was wearing and his appearance made him look menacing, threatening, and all of that other stuff that's negative equated. But Luke Cage wore his hoodies and wore them proudly.
Yeah.
And a lot of his battle sequence happened when he had his hoodie on and he was bulletproof.
That's right.
And he beat down the villains who were firing on him.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Now that was Marvel in their subtle way of saying, hey, you know what? This is a hero. And even though he is subjugated to, you know, the ways of this wicked society, he's able to combat it and fight back. I love the message. I got that message. I don't know if you got it. Everybody else got it. I got it. I got it straight away, bro. I got it straight away. And I had to take my hat off and salute Marvel for doing that. But let's not forget, Stan the Man was still alive back then.
and he understood it. He understood it. When that kid tried to rob him, when he had on the hood,
yep.
He said, run that nigga. He said, you gonna call me a nigga in front of this place? You understand? There was a lot of, y'all ain't ready, man. Let's not take the show there, man. We having fun. Yeah. There was a lot of messages in that, man. There's a lot of gems in that. But you know, salute to Stan. Now, what we got here, a lot of you may or may not have seen this. What this was one episode, and I remember catching this on NBC like at 3 a.m. over the Christmas vacation or something, and I was just up and I was watching and I was like, what is this? And they actually played the whole thing. What this is a pilot episode, like a feeler of an X-Men cartoon. It was animated by the same group of the same team. I think they did the Transformers and G.I. Joe and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and the Incredible Hulk. They got together and they did a pilot episode, which was a feeler of an X-Men cartoon. And they wanted to see how the audience reacted to it. I saw this twice on television. I saw it at 3 a.m. on regular TV, and then I saw it again somewhere else. It was pretty good. It was one episode. And on the team, you have Nightcrawler, Storm, Cyclops, Colossus, Wolverine, and Dazzler, of all people. I'm like, why don't they have Iceman on this thing? I don't know. But Dazzler, I mean, I didn't like her in the comic books. Like, what the hell? But I watched it, and I said, I wanted to see more. In my opinion, you take series like this and you make it a 5-part mini-series and see where it goes. Play it on every Friday for a month or Monday through Friday as a feeler just to see how we take to it. But, this is on Disney Plus, this one? I'll check it out again because I haven't seen this in years, but I've seen it twice. But this was a pilot episode. It came out in the mid to late 80s. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. But whatever. It was a pilot episode, and not too many people have seen this. Well, if it's on Disney Plus, you did see it. When Disney. Oh, on Fox Kids, they aired this. This was pretty. It was well done, in my opinion. It was well done, and they never made a second episode with that animated team. But. Do you guys remember? Let's see. Not this one. We're going to get to that. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. This was in the 80s. Oh, Young Hollywood said, what show? That was a pilot episode of the X-Men, of the original X-Men series done in the 80s. It was one episode. Reef says it's on Disney Plus. If it's up there, go watch it. It was pretty good for that time. Came out in the mid to late 80s. I saw it 2 times. It's on Disney Plus. I was looking for other episodes. They never did it. So I guess the pilot really didn't do. I mean, I don't know who's up other than me back in the day at 3 a.m. But that's when I saw it. But this was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Nerd fact. That character right there, Firestar, was not in the comic book. She was created for this series. And then they put in the comic book, she's a mutant. But this is where she started. They just threw her in there. Iceman is from the X-Men. Let me tell you how great this series was. First of all, Spider-Man is always cool.
Hey, Drew, click on this for a minute. Hold me down for a second, okay?
Okay, no problem. Mm-hmm. This series was something, it was amazing. Of course, we all know the story of Spider-Man, but this story got in depth when they tell everyone's origin stories. Obviously, you know about Peter Parker's story. They kept it true to the comic. He goes to he's a nerd. He gets bullied. He goes to this science fair, and a radioactive spider bites him. Next, he's climbing up walls and lifting up trucks and stuff. But it got interesting it got interesting when he was taking pictures of Spider-Man and selling the pictures to the Daily Bugle where he worked. One day, J. Jonah Jameson said Spider-Man's old news. He's like, what happened? He said, well, there's 2 new heroes in town, and get pictures of them, and I'll buy those pictures off of you. And it was Iceman and Firestar. And he tracks them down, and they reveal each other's identity to themselves, and they become this team, right? So now they move into his Aunt May's house. So now they're all roommates in the house. And what happened was, if you look at the intro, their living room would turn into some command center, and all the computers would flip around. And I was watching that in the first episode. I'm like, well, how the hell did they do that? I know Peter Parker's smart, but how did he do that? Well, there was an episode where I think it was when they first met and got together. They were chasing around this character called the Beetle, who's in the comic books. He went to go steal something that was made by Tony Stark. And they go up to save it was something called the Power Booster. That's what it was called. They go to snatch the Power Booster from the Beetle, and they don't know Tony Stark was Iron Man or whatever. But he saved them, and he says, yo, what can I do for you? And Peter Parker said, well, you can do something for me. Now, I found it interesting that these 3 college students or whatever, well, not college, they were young adults, why they would need a whole hidden command center in the basement of his Aunt May's brownstone in Brooklyn or Queens, wherever he lived. He never asked any questions, but whatever, it's comic books. But 2 of my favorite episodes was the origin of Iceman and the origin of Firestar. Why? Because you find out that Firestar was a member of the X-Men. They made her a member of the X-Men, and they also made Iceman a member of the X-Men. Well, of course, he's an original member of the X-Men. Those are the 2 episodes that they had the X-Men in those episodes. And man, I'm gonna tell you something. That was a dope-ass episode, man. The Juggernaut, I think the one with Firestar, Juggernaut was in that one. Juggernaut was in that one. The one with Iceman, I think they had some cheesy character called Video Man that stole his powers. When he was telling his story about how he was an X-Man, he did a lot of reminiscing. And that's the other episode. The 3rd episode with the X-Men was, I think they went into space. And I don't want to give you, because you know what? This whole series is also on Disney Plus. The entire series is on Disney Plus. I recommend it. Look up the origin of Firestar and the 2nd episode with Video Man in it, because that's the time when Iceman, it's the origin of Firestar, the origin of Iceman, and I forgot the other episode where they went into space. Plus, there was another episode with Submariner in it. I always love those crossover episodes, man, because they introduce other characters. Those characters, Dr. Doom and Captain America was in a couple of episodes. I mean, it was great. This was a deep series, man. I really liked it. I think this came out in 82, 83. I forget. Maybe a little later than that. Maybe 85. But love this series. Love this series. Stormy, you ever watch this? Or did you grow out of it at that time?
No, I had grown out of it at that time, but I did see that it's on Disney Plus. I did see that, so I may look, when I have some time, check it out a little bit. Yeah. The crossover episodes was my favorite. Those are my favorite. If you can, when you look at the episodes, Origin of Firestar, Origin of Iceman, and I can't think of the 3rd one there was 3 episodes with the X-Men in it. And when Firestar was a member of the X-Men, it was the old X-Men with Beast before he turned blue. Yeah. It was that Beast. Yeah, it was that one, man. This was lit, man. I love this, man. I love this. Let me see something. Let me
Let me see something. That. All right, we ain't got much time, so I think we're gonna skip ahead to this right here. Because this right here, come on, y'all. This right here is everything. This took over the 90s.
Look at
now,
Professor X.
Yeah, bro. He's flying high in that chair, ain't he? Goddamn. This right here took over the 90s, y'all. Now, there's things in between. There was a Silver Surfer series that was well written, like how it was in the comic book, which means it didn't really register with the kids. There was a Silver Surfer. Shout out to the 1960s Spider-Man. Dun, 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 dun. Spider-Man. Love that. I grew up on that. But we're going to jump ahead. Oh, and shout out to the 90s Spider-Man series. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
The crossovers was amazing in that. Shout out to that. But this right here was some next level stuff. This was some next level stuff right here. They added a couple of characters. Like that character Morph is not in the comic books. All right. But this right here, yeah, John Pounds, I'm gonna get to it, brother. I'm getting right into it. This right here, solid, bro. This is solid. And they were orphan characters in this series. Matter of fact, nerd fact, you guys got to have a good eye because there's so many Easter eggs in almost every episode of this series. You see, I'm such a nerd. I know B characters, and you'll be watching this series, and I remember I was watching an episode where they were in Australia, and I think Wolverine walked into a pub, and out walks these two characters, some big dude with red hair in a brown suit with a white shirt, and some other short dude. I said, yo, that's Roughhouse. He's a character. He's a B character. You'll never see him anywhere else. But he was a B character in Marvel. I said, wow, look at that. You know, man, listen. This series had everything. Oh, yeah, Reef. The episode with Alpha Flight, when they came for Logan, stop it, bro. I got hype. I said, yo, they have Alpha Flight in this. This was crazy. They had when there was something wrong with the planet, they went to different parts of the world. You see Spider-Man's hand shooting webs, and the cameos was ridiculous in this thing. Did y'all see the Black Panther in one of the episodes? Did y'all miss it? They were in Africa. Y'all might have missed it. They were going into the jet, and the camera was moving, and you saw T'Challa sitting on a rock looking around. He was just there. I was like, oh, look. Go to Disney Plus and just watch the episodes. You got to be a nerd. You got to rewind certain things. I said, yo, you saw the Black Panther standing there? He was standing right there on a rock, just chilling. These episodes now the Phoenix Saga was sick.
One moment of intervention to speak on the Black Panther for a moment. Only because you mentioned that scene and that cameo of him. In the MCU film Black Panther, the first film, when he went on that little mission, when they told him don't freeze, remember?
Yeah.
And he dove out the plane, and he come down, and he had those the balls. I forget what they call them, but you know, and he spread them out and everything, and how he attacked those guys, almost kind of like a guerrilla warfare type deal. It was like, I thought that was so cool how they depicted him, you know, in those surroundings and everything. And I was so looking forward to so much more of that, you know what I'm saying? Because that was T'Challa. That was him doing his thing. That first film set him off so well and so righteous, man, that the fact that they didn't want to recast the guy, I just, you know what? Chad Boseman did a wonderful job playing the character, but Chad Boseman is not T'Challa. He's not. He's Chad Boseman. And it's a real slap to the face of the black actor to not give someone else an opportunity to pick that mantle up and carry it. I mean, George Reeves passed away. Christopher Reeve passed away. They didn't stop making those films.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to take it that direction, but I just wanted to say is that the mere fact that you mentioned that they had T'Challa in there in a cameo, he means something. That's why they put him in there. You know what I mean? Even if it was just a moment to show that he exists in this world, it means something. And that will make me more than anything tune in to check this out, to even see something like that.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't see this series, but I'll check it out.
Oh, this is solid. You won't be disappointed, because you know why? This is another series that wasn't clowny. Like how we were just talking about the Fantastic Four. This series wasn't clowny at all, because mutants are dealing with discrimination out of fear. And once it got real going into season 2, Mr. Sinister and Cable shows up and Bishop shows up, and they start coming from the future like, yo, you think this is bad? It's about to get worse. Who are you? I'm from the future. All of y'all are dead. I'm here to try and stop this shit. You know what I mean? And it got real. And Bishop was like a character that came out in the 90s.
Now, which X-Men series is this again?
This is X-Men from the 90s. And X-Men 97 picks up right when this ends. And it took them 30 years to do it. But this series was so dope that they were like, yo, please bring it back. And let me tell you, let me rock and roll into X-Men 97. Stormy, you will not be disappointed. Because, yo, listen, it's not for kids, man. I was sitting there like, yo, this should be on Netflix. I don't know how this is on Disney. Seriously, I was like, yo, they did that? Now, you can, you know, there's a little bit of woke in it. The character, well, I ain't gonna ruin it, but there's a character that comes back, and now the way he looks is not how he used to look, and yeah, you know, but you're gonna appreciate the whole series. Now, what I will say is the last episode of the original series, the last few episodes, I think they turned it over to a new art team, and the anime was a little different, and they took a hit in the writing. You can tell. But when they ended the series in 97, it ends like kind of like how the comic book, I don't want to say end, you know, Professor X does something and he leaves Earth. Let's just say that. And that's how the series ended 30 years ago. When they brought it back, of course, they tell the story about what happened, and then he comes back to Earth. But this is not really for like 10-year-olds. No. These are a group of people that are discriminated against and yet torn between, and for those of you that don't know, this is why Stan Lee was so important and why Marvel went crazy in stage 4. It's like they waited for Stan Lee to die. If y'all don't know, Professor X and Magneto are Marvel's Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Magneto is Malcolm X. Professor X is Dr.
Do you know that someone has come online recently trying to dispel that?
They can't, because Stan said it.
I know. It's a guy out here. I'm not gonna say his name. He has a channel, and it's a comic book based channel and everything. But he actually came out here, man, and said, oh, those were just rumors that people went that direction for that because there was some kind of similar. Dude, listen, I hate people like that. It reminds me of these people out here that are kind of campaigning for Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Was he black? Was the dude black?
Yes.
Unbelievable, bro.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yes.
Stan Lee is on record saying it.
I know. I know. This is why I'm mentioning it. And this is why, people need to just stop it, man. It's like you can't get away from this stuff. You can't get away from it, man. But not to interrupt, what you were saying. One last one I want to throw out there real quick, because we may have to come back and do a part 2 on this, because there's so much more to talk about. But I want to get your thoughts on this, because it's important.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we couldn't end tonight without talking about this. Marvel's What If. I kind of like the first season better than the second. But I was satisfied. I was satisfied with especially season 1. If y'all don't know, the What If series actually comes from the comic book, and it told side stories. And when I mean side stories, it was the stories about like, for instance, what if, I remember reading a comic book, what if Banner didn't get hit with the nuclear bomb and it was General Ross? What if Banner didn't get hit with the bomb and he didn't try to save Rick Jones, and Rick Jones got hit with the bomb and he became the Hulk? Y'all don't even know who Rick Jones is. I don't know how Marvel Universe doesn't have a character Rick Jones in it, but whatever. You know what I mean? This is a damn good series, man. And one of the
I really like the animation too.
Yeah. I think this is called cell shading. I think that's what they call this now. It's done with a computer, and it's made easy. They actually got the voices of the actual actors. And again, shout out to Chadwick Boseman, because in season 1, I think that was his last work that he did as T'Challa, because he was the voice of T'Challa in the What If T'Challa was Star-Lord. He was kidnapped from Earth. That was a What If series, man. But a What If episode. But this was really, really good. In the What If saga, it's the Watcher in the comic books telling the story, just like in the series. This was well done. This was well done. Did you like this, Stormy?
I haven't watched all of it, but I find it interesting because I don't know the What If stories from the comics. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's entertaining for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of what ifs. This is how they tell stories, and with a little twist. Nowadays, they just say it happened. It's on a different Earth. That's why the What If saga doesn't even exist anymore. They just say, okay, this has happened. It's on a different Earth. Because, you turn around and look, there's several different Earths where maybe Spider-Man died, or Daredevil died, or Wolverine's dead, or, that sort of thing. They just say, okay, but now they just it used to be called What If. I remember a big book was What If Set Came to Earth. That serpent from, I think he's from Asgard or something. And that got violent. It got crazy violent. Yeah. So this was a good series. There's 2 seasons, so when y'all get a minute, binge watch it. Binge watch What If season 1 and 2. You won't be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. Very good stuff, man. And again, that's Chadwick Boseman's last appearance as Black Panther, was in the form of animation.
Right. Well, we're getting close to that time for you, bro. So why don't you carry us through with some final thoughts and everything to wrap the show up?
Yeah, this is why we do this.
We had a nice audience tonight too, man. I saw the numbers going up, nice tune-ins for some people.
Yeah, this is why we do this. We have fun doing this. This is how we kick back and play some spades, I guess. This is our version of just playing some spades. And we just get to talk about the stuff that make us reminisce all the way back to our childhood, man. You know, and mess around. We might have to do this more than once a week if we could stand it. You know what I mean? That's how good, because listen, this nerd conversation, it's really infinity. There's so many things we could talk about, from kung fu to westerns to animation to what ifs, you know. Oh man, we need to do a what if show. What if this actor, like, remember we said, what if Charles Bronson actually did a movie with Chuck Norris in the 80s? I mean, come on, that would have been ridiculous. Bodies everywhere. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
I love this. I thought this was one heck of a subject. That's why I told you I want you to, you know, contribute, bro. This was your baby tonight, and this was a damn good show.
This was a damn good show, man. Damn good show, and have fun doing it, man. Have fun doing it, man. Salute to you. Can't wait for next week.
Yep.
You know, that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome, man. And whatever it is we're talking about. But you know, Pep Talk is up, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate you, Stormy. And he said, what if Stallone and Arnold in the late 80s or 90s, if they did a movie? Come on, we was all looking for that, but you know, it never happened.
Their egos were too big at the time. They just wouldn't do those kind of things. And they waited till Jackie got too damn old to bring him in to do anything with him, because Jackie, I think they felt that Jackie would upstage them or something. They still have those kind of thoughts, man. It's old school. It's rooted in the DNA of them folks. So don't even, you know.
Look at Jimmy Bernard. What if Chuck Norris was in Bloodsport?
The movie would be over in 5 minutes.
Oh, what if Bruce Lee had lived? Oh man, we got to do a what if show. We got to. We got to. We got to do a what if show. What if Bruce Lee made it? I mean, come on, man. But
hey, I got a real one to throw out as a what if. What if Bruce Lee had lived here in that James Bond movie, The Man with the Golden Gun?
Oh man,
in that, y'all. He was supposed to be in that, but he died.
Damn it.
And they still went through with the film, and the role that Lee was supposed to play was minimized by the actor that they brought in. It was that Korean actor. I forget his name, Kim Soon something. But yeah, he was a Asian actor who played in a lot of films in the early 70s, late 60s. But yeah, we could talk about some of these things. Yeah. But yeah, man, thanks to you again, brother, for, you know, your contributions and making this well worth the while show. And replay value is very high on this one. Replay value high on this one.
Oh yeah. And we can still revisit it, man. This is great, man. Yeah. So I'm gonna run over to Pep Talk. I got a couple of minutes that I can slide through there, because I have a weird topic tonight. It's very
I saw the thumbnail for it. I'm like,
yeah,
78 might slide through.
Yeah, bro. I saw a documentary last night. I was like, yo, what the? Okay. So I guess I'll talk about it. But salute to you, Stormy.
Yes,
and I'll
sir.
see you in a bit.
All right, bro. You take it easy.
Bro. Yes, sir.
Later. Yeah, so we're coming to the end of this evening, you guys. Much appreciated with what we were able to bring to you this evening. What an awesome show, huh? And as I stated earlier, this was Drew's baby tonight. He came up with the idea for tonight's show. Great stuff, man. And this is what we try to do with the Nerd Show. We try to draw you all in and relive. And for some of you, it's not that long ago, but for some of us others like myself, it is a while ago. But it's great to venture and reach back and know what moved us and gave us inspiration and motivation as younglings coming up. And this is what it's all about. The Nerds on Culture show is listen, it's a chance for us to come together, like he said, bust some spades and just nerd out. You know, you can get your favorite beverage and a little snack and tune in and check us out, man. And we're always bringing something special to you. That's what it's all about. But as we get ready to round this evening's show out, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys see this merchandise ad for the Stormybman channel. Yeah, and so that brings us to the end of this evening's Nerds on Culture, our 87th show in the series of Nerds, Marvel's top animated cartoons. We will revisit this subject for you guys again because there's still so much more to speak on regarding this particular subject. So with that being said, I want to thank you all once again for tuning in, smashing the like button, showing us the true support as you have rocked with us for this show, and say shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we hope to see you guys return to us again next week. Same time, same channel. Peace to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week.